So while Robert Downey Jr. makes over $100 million for Doomsday and Secret Wars, Disney just laid off the entire visual development team at Marvel Studios. I want to take a second and talk about what that actually means, how it'll affect their movies, why it's bad if you were a fan of the comics themselves, and if generative AI could be in the background here. Now, I've seen a lot of people implying this has to do with VFX. That's not the case. The visual development team is essentially responsible for crafting the visual identity of the film before there's even a script. Talking about a team of about 15 people, and a key characteristic there is comics, so that when a movie is announced, Disney turns to that team and they say, okay, get to work giving us ideas for how characters are going to look, how their costumes are going to look, and create still images that we can then build around. Essentially, we're talking about the people at the heart of crafting the visual language of the MCU back when it was great. Not just about visual aesthetics, these people get involved with crafting stories as well, because again, they really know comics. Feige himself assigned a lot of warranted value to this team because essentially they helped him keep everything consistent across films. So basically you have a sense visually of what will look consistent across movies, so that when you bring characters together for big collaborations, stuff doesn't look wonky. You don't see one character and go, they look really out of place. According to internal sources, other elements of the studio weren't always thrilled to have these people around because again, they had a keen sense of the comics, and not everyone at the studio level is concerned with retelling actual comic stories and having things that look like they were pulled from those pages. Always going to be a balance of being comic accurate and having respect for source material while also making stuff accessible to fans and understandable and digestible for general audiences. I understand at a high level that's difficult to do. The value of this team is undeniable in making the MCU what it once was. I will side with the artist every single time over the studio. The question on a lot of people's minds now is, will generative AI be used in this visual development process moving forward? If you can just put in a prompt and say, give me visual ideas for these characters doing these things, why would you pay artists? The thing is, the fucking AI is not a fan of the comics. It has no passion, it has no love for the source material, no respect. It simply is going to do what it thinks it should do. Some of these folks will probably work on Marvel films again. Basically, they'll be hand selecting people to come in for different projects and bringing them in as freelancers. But again, the point of this team was to be cohesive, was to develop chemistry and understanding with each other and a sense of what the future is going to look like as a unit. An NBA team tries to just toss together a few superstars and hope they pump out a championship. It takes time to build chemistry and to develop, right? At the end of the day, Disney is not strapped for cash, right? They're not doing this because things are desperate. They're doing it because now they can cut corners. But without the visual development team, we probably don't get moments that stick in our mind like this. Disney, in my opinion, owes these people so much of their success.